everybody, welcome to Review Time with Islip. I am Islip, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the King SRK-05 hammer. This is Slag or Slog or Slug, depending on what your damage is. This is the Triceratops Dinobot. We'll go with that. For the King combiner. Now I've had him and hit the remaining parts of King in my possession for about just a little over a year. I'm sorry for not doing an actual review on it. If I'm honest, the reason I didn't do a review on it is because after I got everybody, I put them together, and yeah, not much fun as a combiner. As separate Dinobots and robots, they're actually pretty cool. I think their strong points are the dinosaurs and the robot parts. Not that King itself is weak, it's got a lot of issues. We'll get to that when we get to King mode. So anyway, let's get on with it. Inside the box, you'll get your instructions and a card, and of course, you will get hammer. He comes in a clear plastic bubble tray. Actually, just two of them. And yeah, these are all the bits that you get with them. And let's go ahead and get him out. So you get your main figure. Let's zoom back out. Your main figure, who's slightly mistransformed for packaging. And let's get that out. We're gonna tackle the robot and dinosaur mode first, and then we will tackle how to combine in another video. I'll get them and the remaining guys in their proper configurations for you, and yeah. So he's pretty cool. It's very, very cool. I gotta get a small Dinobot, small Autobot sticker to put in there. Now that I got quite a few from what do you call it? From Toy Hacks, I can do that. Let's see. There we go. So we got him. Let's put him to the side. We'll look at him in a minute. We get part 2 of the giant King sword, which is a double-bladed blade. We get the hilt for the giant robot mode. Let's see. We get a hilt so that hammer. I'm gonna put it in backwards. Hammer can use it. Oh, it's really tight to go in, so we're just gonna. Are we gonna? We'll just leave it like that. It goes all the way in, but it's really tight, and that's part of the problem. Is that some of the connections are super tight. So put that over to the side. We've got the other fist, which I'm not sure if it came with him or if it came with Raph. Is it? Are you Raph? Yeah, Raph. I think it comes with this guy. But here's the giant hand, which is done really well. The fingers don't splay out, but they are. Let's see. Are you individual? Yes, they're individually pinned at the knuckles, and then they bend like a real finger. They've got 3 segments for the fingers instead of 2 like most robots do. And they have talons, which I love that. We got a ball-pegged thumb, which does what it needs to do. And it's awesome. This is a pretty decent hand. I like it. I kind of wish that the fingers splayed out a little bit, but you know what though? It will do what it needs to do, and then what you do is when you have the giant sword, you just peg it into both slots here, and there you go. He holds it really well, so that's pretty good. We're gonna just put that off to the side for now. Actually, I guess we can go ahead and just go ahead and put the other blade in. Let's see, one blade. Let's see, you go this way. And then let's go ahead and get the blade from Blades. So this is the blade from Blades, and then you just put it in the other slot. I don't like how they are not what do you call it? They're not uniform. They're two different blades instead of being like a copy of each blade being the same. I don't like that. I also don't like that they are split like this. I don't understand why they did that. I mean, I guess you could just use one. There's a big slot in the middle. Will this? No, it won't fit in the. It won't work in the big slot. The big slot in the middle, which I don't know what that's for. Is there any other pieces in here? No. But yeah, so you got that. Not overly fond of that, but it'll do its job. Put it to the side. See what else do we have? We have his swords, which I don't know if I've actually taken out. Let's see. He's got two swords, which, oh, I haven't taken it out actually, which I do appreciate. I do appreciate that there are two swords. So I guess if I lose or damage one, I've got another one, or I can have him double wielding his swords, which that's always a nice thing. And he holds his swords really well. Now, he's unfortunately not masterpiece size, even though I'll be honest with you, the Dinobot Combiner that they formed does feel like it's a masterpiece size. And it's about the same size as, maybe slightly taller than the Titan-sized Devastator that Hasbro gave us a few years ago. Here we have, I forgot what this is for. I think this is part of Combine mode. I'm not sure what that does. We also have his guns, which, again, will plug in. Woo! Will plug in. Why are your legs feel so like you don't want to lock in or something? Okay, you're locked in, you're locked in, you're in the way you should be. It's just really back heavy. But yeah, so he does hold his gun very well as well. Huh. I just realized that his face is silver, but his nose is black. That might be why his face looks weird to me. Why did they do that? That didn't make no sense. Either make the whole face black or make the whole face silver. I think traditionally the face is always black, and this is to help you connect it to the shoulder socket in SRK mode. So we'll put that to the side for now. And you get a card as well. Go ahead and take these out, because we don't need these for the next mode. You do get the card as well, and yeah, if you like collector's cards, that's great. And if you're not into collector's cards, I can go either way, really. I don't really need the card. It's just one more thing for me to lose. I'm going to put this back in the box as well. And this piece as well. So we don't need to lose those pieces. Let's go ahead and get the blister pack out of here. Sorry about that, guys. So here we go. Let's go ahead and go over articulation. He has a head that is on a ball joint, so it actually looks all the way up. You can actually move his dino frill some. It has a bit of mobility, probably due to transformation for the, what do you call it, for the combined mode. He does it. Oh, he has side motion. Let's bring that closer. Side to side motion. Obviously 360 if you can move the frill out of the way. His frill here actually it's actually on a swinging joint. I think they call it a butterfly joint, and it also rotates, so that's actually pretty cool. So you can get those out of the way. His arms rotate 360. They go in and out, and they have an extra. So if you want to have his shoulders really high instead of low, if you want to have it that way, you can do that. I think that's for transformation into the robot mode, super robot mode. But you can do that if you want to, if that looks better to you. For me, it looks fine with it down. Doesn't look out of proportion, and you can always raise the shoulders a bit. Again, 360 at the shoulder. Rotates at the bicep. He's got what looks like a double elbow. He does have a double elbow. It's just a weird double elbow. His wrists rotates, and his little dino claws rotate a bit too. It's on a mushroom peg. Let's see, rotation. There's rotation at the waist. Let's see, legs go forward that far. They go back that far. Bend at the knee that much, and we have a little, ooh, I don't like that sound, squeaky toe, so you can get him in more poses. I guess it really doesn't matter. And yeah, let's see, did I forget anything? I did get the, I think I got the in and out. Well, if I didn't, he has a really high side kick. Rotation into upper bicep, upper thigh. And yeah, and then his wings wiggle waggle. And do they unpeg? They look like they should unpeg. I don't think they're supposed to, so we're not going to try that. But yeah, his wings in and out. I'm not overly fond of the plastic, but the one thing I will say is that when you peg things together with this plastic, it pegs in very well, as opposed to Hasbro plastic that they've been using lately, which hasn't been doing a really good job. Before I forget, actually, I have these guys sitting out here for a reason. Let's go ahead and bring in the power of the Primes feller, and just so you can get a not only a size difference, but you can get a comparison. And it's pretty cool. I like the face on this guy better than this guy, if I'm honest with you. The head sculpt is, I think, better here than it is on this guy. And again, his face, his nose is black, but his face is silver, which doesn't make any sense. And the details on the helmet seem a little soft to me. Let's see. But turning him around, and this guy cleans up a little bit better, if I'm honest, than this guy does. His legs are chunk-tastic. Holy cow. But otherwise, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. Let's get this guy out of the way, and let's go ahead and transform him into his robot, his beast mode. I have the other Shuriken guys, and they're in their dino mode, so I'm just gonna show them off as a team in their dino modes. I think that's where I like them the best anyway, is in their dino modes, especially for Blades, aka Swoop. His dino mode is magnificent. His dino mode, like he to me is awesome. It's just, he's the best out of all of them. As far as overall, I think to me he's my favorite. So we'll fold in the fists. We'll just rotate this down. We'll go ahead and take this piece here and let's see. Do I close it up or do I have to turn his head around? Let's try turning his head around first. Or maybe it's supposed to look up. Yeah, it's supposed to look up. There we go. So it's supposed to look up and you slide. Hold on. You're going to slide his dino head back a little bit on that little post there. Put his regular head up and then you can slide it back down again and then the mouth will close. We'll worry about the frills in a second. I just want to get everything together. We'll go ahead and close this up. Alright, we'll close you up. And these just peg into some holes in the side, which keep them nice and flush. And you can already see where we're going with this guy. I'll go ahead and take his little frills and turn them the right way and get them where they're supposed to be. For now, we'll clean them up in a little bit. Okay. Now the feet, aka the tails, are the most complicated parts of all these dinos. And they are pretty damn complicated, so you want to get that out. And I think this has to come out as well. This has to go sort of straight because otherwise you won't be able to get the foot in. Or maybe we'll get the foot in and then close this back again. It's been a while since I've transformed these guys. Get these unpegged and this way we can get everything out. Okay, and then this goes in like this. Alright. And there's two points where it moves over here at the knee and then where it connects to the leg. So it goes like that, right? Yep. Oh, hold on. I have to bring these down some, right? Sorry. I am out of practice. And then just go in like so. And we'll get that all cleaned up in a second. Let's work on the other side real quick. Pull you out. Unpeg that. Unpeg that. And hopefully I'm not wrong. Like I said, it's been a while. I haven't transformed this guy in a year or so. I'll get the little tail part out. I didn't realize that was in there still. And you're still in there too, right? Yeah, let's get that tail out too. This way. Let's see. You rotate around like that. There we go. That's half of that done. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring this over. And then this will all peg together in the middle in a second. Did I forget to do something? Okay. Let's get this where it's supposed to go. You go like that. Swing over. I think now we start pegging everything together. Come on in. Get this. Oh, fold all that down. We'll worry about that in a minute. Oh, this thing unpegged itself. Okay, you weren't supposed to unpeg. Okay. Alright, so there we go. Just peg everything together. And are you all pegging together? Okay, you go in there. You go in there. Alright. There we go. Snap it together. Okay, bring this down. And get the foot all situated. Bring it down and get the foot all situated. That is pretty much that. That's pretty much it. Let's see, is there anything else I need? Nope, that's it. So we just need to situate this. I hope that was on camera because I'm not going to do that again. Okay, and then pull this little piece out. That's his little flamethrower. And there you go. And there you go. You're pretty much done. There's not much else to do, is there? No. I feel like this should come down more. I feel like his jaw feels like it's too far down, but I think that's the way it is on the box. Let's see. Yep, that's the way it is on the box. So I'll turn this, that, and there we go. We've got our spiky potato. Let's see. Yep. So there we go with our spiky potato bot, and he's pretty cool. He is pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of his head. I think his head should be longer, or maybe slimmer. I think it's a little too wide, but you know, it is what it is. I feel like you are not the way you're supposed. You are though. So yeah, I'm not sure why that's not staying pegged the way it's supposed to. But I mean, otherwise it's pretty good. And it's a double bend still. You've still got that double bend. You also have a bend this way. So you've got that. You have a bit of a waist rotation for some reason. I think that's for the other modes. And yeah, you can get your walking Triceratops on. He's pretty nice. He is pretty nice. I like him. So yeah, he's pretty good. He's not masterpiece size. If you're looking for masterpiece size dino, you're wanting like Scoria or Grass. Is it Grasser? I think it's Grasser. Scoria or the Gigapower. You want the fans toys. I mean the fans. Yeah, fans toys or the Gigapower stuff, not this. Okay, and then you just take these and you can plug them into. You can plug his guns into his sides. If I can just get these. There we go. And there you go. You have your Triceratops bot. And it's pretty cool. I like it. I do. The head is the weak part for me as far as I'm concerned. Everything else is pretty decent. And where is... And his head, like he can open his mouth really wide, which is a little weird. That's just too far. But, you know, you can do that. You can open his mouth and play peekaboo if you want to, because his head sticks out. But yeah. Whoops. So he's pretty cool. I like him. I do. I think that looks great. I don't think you can plug these guns onto any other part of him in this mode. You can't plug his swords onto him in this mode. What you see is what you get. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and transform the official Power of the Primes Slag, Slug, Sloop, whatever his name is, real quick. And there's the Power of the Primes version. Right off the bat, I love that the frill isn't flat like the Power of the Primes version is. And I like the head better on the Power of the Primes version, though, over here. Although this horn is awesome. And these horns are awesome, too. But the actual head itself, I think the Power of the Primes does it better. The legs, you can see, are definitely done better on the Power of the Primes. And here is a bit of size difference. The only thing I like, besides the head, the only thing I like about the Power of the Primes better than on this one is the color. I like the silverish color here better than the dark gray. Although I think dark gray was closer. Like gray was the color in the the cartoon. And this is a silver gray. That's a dark gray. I think that probably fits better. But you know, that said, you know what? I wonder. Can I post this in? Nah, it's just slightly too big. I wonder if this will work in his posts. Yeah, that'll work. It's a little tiny bit loose, but the posts are just slightly wider than the holes are slightly wider than 3.5 millimeters. So let's go ahead and get a bit of a group shot, if I can, actually, because even though these guys aren't masterpiece scale, they're actually still pretty darn big, especially Swoop. Here we go with their Grimlock. Let's see if I can get them in a better pose. So, and then there's Swoop. This one's going to be the hardest because his wings are so huge. Swoop is the only one here that I feel is truly a masterpiece size. Swoop Blades, whatever his name is. But he's also, like, I mean, as far as in robot, I mean, in pterodactyl mode, he is, the dino mode, he is definitely the masterpiece scale, I think. And he is the, you know, overall biggest out of all of them. You know, it's really strange. But yeah, that's that for this review. You know, let's get this guy out of the way. It's still my favorite. It's a pterodactyl or pteranodon. Grimlock was my favorite, but I think in this line, the other guy, the Blades, was my favorite. This guy here is pretty nice. I think of the Shuriken Dinobots, I think this guy, Blades, and Wrath, aka Grimlock, came out the best. We're gonna go over the other two guys next. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And that's it. I'm iSlip. Ciao.